how rich of soil it is. It's based off of how you do the life and the leadership.
And I just love how you shape legacy because I think that, I think we're not always thinking about it in that way, right? That
Yeah.
we're, like you said, we're just thinking, okay, I got this business, I'm gonna hand it to my kids, and that's legacy.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
it is so much richer than
mhm.
that.
Yes, I love that word.
You know,
Yeah.
for me, I look at legacy when I see my child make different decisions than I would have made, right?
Yeah.
And my child is me all over again. So, but to see I see my old self in him because
Yeah.
of he has my personality, but I
Mhm,
see my new self in him because of the
mhm.
decisions that he makes.
Right.
And that's legacy to me because then, he's going to pass that down and
His
greater.
family and his children, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So when you think about, I get in chills now. When you think about legacy, how do you not include your kids in the picture? How do they not play a bigger role? Like you
Right.
said, we usually just give them the LLC and let them stay and do kid stuff while we build. And then when they get older, oh yeah, by the way, this is what I got set up for you. They're not meaningfully involved. They don't know what anything is. You got to integrate that all throughout the journey so that
Yes.
they're prepared. But I remember his daughter and his son walking down the aisle of that church and getting on the stage, and the way in which they addressed the congregation, I knew that he had prepared them. There was
Mm.
just no, I mean, it gives me chills thinking about how articulate they were, how at peace they were, how it was like they got the baton, boom. Dad told us this, and one thing that the son said was that Dad helped them to know that if when I transition, first of all, he never wanted to transition without his wife. So in their mind, although their dad was gone, they were in the perfect will of God, and they knew that it was up to them to take it forward. That right there was monumental. That was like some boss type like
No.
I'm only saying because I don't have a whole lot of history on our end of how we carry that
Yeah.
torch forward. Miles Monroe would say that the greatest tragedy is not knowing your purpose. I would then add to that to say really the greatest tragedy is knowing your purpose and not fulfilling it. And not to say there's anything wrong with working, but what did you do with the gift, skills, and talents? Because sometimes we get employment and we ignore the deployment, and it's different.
Right.
Sometimes God uses the employment to prepare us and to practice us, get us practice for the deployment, but
Right.
we never get deployed into our calling.